Doing a Inkstream right here of Conan the Barbarian, the Cimmerian, the most badass character of all time. This is Samrian September. It's something created by Michael K. Vaughn's YouTube channel. Go subscribe to him. He created it 3 years ago. It's basically bringing awareness to Robert E. Howard. And during this month, there's different stipulations. I believe the first month it was anything that Conan. The second month, I think it was, or second year, sorry, it was anything Robert E. Howard wrote. And I believe this year it's anything that has to do with Robert Howard, like in conjunction, even pastiche or comic book form. So this month I'm doing this drawing. Going to be reading a little Solomon Kane by Del Rey, the Savage Tales, and I'm also going to be reviewing the Heroic Signatures line. I'll be picking up Scourge of the Serpent tomorrow, and I should be dropping a review on Thursday for that. So I'm really jazzed up right now. All right. So right now what I'm doing is gonna start just cleaning up a little area right here. Right here I'm drawing Conan, depicting him fighting a giant reptilian basic primate right here. So it's been really fun. He's up in the jungle. He's got one of his vixens with him, and then you have this witch doctor in the back. He's kind of overseeing everything, so fun piece. This is like the second piece I've ever drawn of Conan. I scratch that. I did three in my lifetime. So, and I usually they're pretty big gaps in between, probably like 10 years each time. So I don't draw Conan very often because I'm kind of I don't know, intimidated by the character because so many brilliant artists have drawn him and still continue to draw him. So I'm always just kind of like, it's hard. But this piece is, I don't know, coming along okay, I guess. But yeah, thanks for everybody that watches. That's turned up for the streams. I appreciate it. And everyone watching now, thanks for stopping by. So what I'm doing right now, I'm erasing this section right here. Most of this piece will probably be done by like the next stream. Daniel Barry Sports Highlights. Yo, hey, thanks for stopping by, bro. Appreciate it. This way I'll have a little bit of room right here to lay my hand when I'm inking the rest of this piece. So if you guys, the 18 of you guys watching, thanks for stopping by. I appreciate it. If you guys are into comic books, comic book reviews, little tips on making comics, then this is the channel you might consider subscribing to. I appreciate it. I've been making comics now since 2015 on the underground scene. So I'm very gray at it, but I'm also very green. And yeah, so it's a good time for anybody out there that wants to start making some books. You could start doing it. And anybody could do it. Just recommend taking some anatomy drawing classes if you can. That's one thing I wish I kind of did that, and then reading some studying the artists you like. Pick up some anatomy books like the Bridgman books. Those are always great. Pick 3 of your favorite comic book artists and just study them. That's what I recommend, and do it for about 15 minutes a day. Got a little video on that too if you guys ever want to check it out in the Metal Cartoonist Nuggets playlist. Drinking some coffee right now. Today was my boy's birthday. He's growing up so quick. Yeah. I'm waiting for the new FrazettaGirls.com. They're making these new Frazettaverse figures. They're basically Masters of the Universe style. And they're, that style's awesome. They're real heavy figures, like the ones that I think it was Kenner or Mattel used to make. No, it was Mattel. Yeah, that's right. Duh. And those ones are sturdy. So they're going to be doing Conan, John Carter of Mars, and Death Dealer. Those are going to be the three that they're coming out with, that they're launching the line with. So I'm looking forward to getting that for him, showing him knows he was really getting excited about that. Trying to find some cool toys today for him. I got him this badass, like old school, not that old, but the Red Hulk, not the one from the movie, not the new Indiana Hulk or whatever. I'm talking about the Marvel Signatures line. That one's It's really big and it's pretty badass. And I was gonna get him the Barbarian Hulk, man, but it's a little out of my budget right now. That thing was like $80, and there's a bunch of gifts I want to get him. So yeah, it's that one. Just those toys are really badass. Oh, thanks for hitting the like. I appreciate it, guys. If you guys have any questions, feel free to ask. And I'm using right here these mono Tombow erasers. These things are awesome. They work really good. And I'm always on the hunt for the best eraser. And so far, this is the best one. And this one too, right here. This one's really good as well from Pencil. So, because I like to draw really light. That way, if I make a mistake, I can come in and fix it. I make a lot of mistakes, so draw really light and then erase really, really softly. I was going a little crazy right there with it. I need to slow down. And let the ink dry for a day if you can. Some people don't have that luxury, and they gotta keep going, But luckily I did. So we got Conan right here. He's all scarred up. I was gonna have part of his ear like hanging, because in the story, the slithering shadow, he gets in this fight with this demon. In this story, he's in this desert city, right? And the city, when you go in there, you come to find out that the city is really just a giant palace, and all the rooms are connected, and everyone is just fucking high off their asses, right? They just forgot what drug they're using in there, or what they're drinking, but they're drugged up. And there's this demon that comes out, every couple of months, and he just feeds on people, and they're just terrified of him. But the people stay pretty drugged up, and then there's this basically hot. I think it's like a princess that kind of roams around, and all the men want her and whatnot, and all the people are just drugged up, and it's crazy. And Conan's there, and he has to go face to face with this slithering shadow, this beast. It's pretty remarkable story. I recommend it if you guys check it out if you haven't. And the beast in there, he's described as having these tentacles that are whipping from his face, and even maybe like a scorpion tail, and he's like this flesh mass that's floating around. It reminded me of that that monster from Big Trouble in Little China. I don't know if you guys have ever seen that, but highly recommend it. Yeah, but the more I think about a Conan director, it's really hard. It really is. It's got to be taken extremely seriously. It's hard. I thought it would be easier, but yeah, the more I think about it, I really do think Robert Eggers would be good, because he did one sword and sorcery film, the Northman. I don't know if you guys saw that, but that's highly recommend that. It's total Viking sword and sorcery, and it's based off of one of Hamlet's plays, which is Amleth. But Amleth was taken from a Viking story, so it's kind of like a full circle thing, where they're kind of playing kickball with the lore, or with the fable, if you will. Yeah. I'd like to see another Beowulf movie too, a proper Beowulf movie. We still haven't got one yet. We've gotten the one with Gerard Butler, which was okay, but yeah, it could have been better. Budget wasn't really there. All right, we got some erased pretty good. I'm gonna start working on some more inks. All right, get in here with this. There's that. Okay, I was using the big one earlier. Might do that again. Cover a little more ground. So we're doing with this gorilla right here. He's got these patches of skin that's hair that's ripped out, and in those patches are scales. So you got these reptilian scales kind of underneath the skin. I thought it would be a fun concept to kind of roll with. And if I ever write a Conan story, this is this is what I'm gonna put in there. Yeah, Conan's hard cookie to crack, though, to do justice. I think what Jim Zub's doing over there at Heroic Signatures is really doing a great job. Yeah. Let's see here. Michael Cruz. Is this a comic? Oh no! Thanks for stopping by the way, this is just some fan art of Conan the Barbarian. Right now it's Cimmerian September, and it's basically like this, call where people could just basically go out and start reading some Robert E. Howard stuff like Solomon Kane, Conan the Barbarian, Call the Conqueror. Robert E. Howard has so much work out there. It's a lot to choose from. He's got like three books on boxing stories. He's got weird Western tales. If you go to the Robert E. Howard Foundation, they're publishing all kinds of stuff. Anything you could really think of, Robert E. Howard wrote it. He's definitely my favorite writer too. And the way, if you guys haven't read any of his work, he writes with rhythm. So basically feels like you're getting a verbal assault on you when you're reading in an entertaining way. They really punch. Oh, like a big book. Yeah, they're pretty big. He was a pulp writer, so most of his stuff is all pulp. He wrote a few novels, pulp, but being like that they're pretty quick, Like all the Conan stuff's really, really quick. I recommend like Conan and Solomon Kane and Cole. Those are like the most popular ones. But he's definitely got enough work out there to keep you busy probably for a while. And there's just more and more work they're starting to. Yeah, and he was friends with H.P. Lovecraft too. So if you guys don't know about that guy, he's the one that created like the whole cosmic horror, a lot of body horror stuff. And Stephen King, he's a big fan of this guy, and his work is very Lovecraftian. A lot of people, you see a lot of Lovecraft stuff out there now. It's like all that, like a lot of Hellboy stuff. Yeah. But even in the Conan books, there's Lovecraft in there. He talks about the old ones. So him and Lovecraft kind of shared notes, and they let each other play in each other's sandbox. So that's pretty cool. I saw fun stuff. I like it. I saw those shows. Oh, cool. Yeah. And there's a Lovecraft. I think there's 2 Lovecraft stories in Guillermo del Toro's Cabinet of Curiosity. Lovecraft also did like Reanimator. I don't know if you remember that movie. It's pretty badass. I would also say that David Cronenberg, his stuff feels very Lovecraftian, that director. Yeah. It's the movie with the clown one. Oh yeah, yeah, definitely. Yeah, that's definitely kind of Lovecraft. A lot of Stephen King stuff is like that. Yeah. Start messing with the hands right here. Got these like broken off fingernails, like these long fingernails kind of broken off. I'll look up Conan the Barbarian after this. Yeah, man. I encourage, just go pick up the company that makes all the best, publishes all the best Robert E. Howard stuff is Del Rey. So check out the Del Rey books. The Conan, there's 22 Conan stories and there's 3 books. And yeah, I highly recommend them, man. You got to check them out. Most definitely. Yeah. Oh, thanks for the like. Hey, what's up, Edwin? Thanks for stopping by, bro. Appreciate you. Drawing a little Conan action right here. I was telling Michael Cruz about Conan the Barbarian, the noble savage. And that's the thing about Conan and all of Robert E. Howard's works. It's always about barbarism. That's like a theme. Barbarism that's going to basically always overtake technology. It's always gonna civilize the civilized world too. Mainly, barbarism is going to come back. And the thing about the civilized world, it's worse in his eyes because you got a lot of like politicians and people running religions and stuff, and they're just hiding behind their philosophies and their monies, and they're just really, hairs away from their society's collapsing. Conan laughs at this. He thinks it's funny because he is a noble savage. With these monkey paws in right there. What's that? I don't know who this lady's going to be, but we'll figure it out. Give her a little sword right there. Putting it into the side. All right. Leave that like that for now. I was trying to draw last night, but I was just too tired. Yeah. Been working on a lot of stuff. Been building up doing a little world building for some books I want to start writing. That's been really fun. Doing these mental deep dives. Try not to build too much of a world, but it's just like, it's hard not to. It really is. Really is. Let's see. Probably use the ruler for this one just because hands are a little shaky right now. All right. Hit that like that. Oh. I just watched the final episode of Dexter. It's pretty cool. I wonder if they're going to make another season. We'll see what happens. And that whole bunch of serial killers he was taking on, it was crazy. Yeah, man. I hope they make another Conan movie or a TV show. I was talking about that last time. I think a TV show would be perfect. You could really do a lot with the TV show. Put it on HBO for crying out loud. That's the best home for it, I think. And what they did with like The Sopranos and Deadwood and Game of Thrones, I think they would really do a good job with Conan. And all they got to do is adapt the Robert E. Howard stuff. No pastiche anything, just straight up Howard stuff. You could kind of take however long or little you want on a story too. You could really milk it out or not, because it's pulp. So yeah, a little bit of that on there for it. Okay. big sword. All right, this right here. Probably get the little one. All right, what's that? Hey, what's up? How's it going, Phil? How's everything going over there? On the neck of the woods, man. Hope you're doing pretty good over there. Leave that like that for now. Right. Let her chill up there for a little bit. Some more coffee. It's fun really building up your own universes. I definitely want to do like a gothic sword and sorcery. Just trying not to make it too big, but man, I just keep coming up with these ideas and stuff, and I'm like, dude, I'm gonna just keep building it. It's really fun. Oh, thanks, man. Appreciate it. Just having fun with the Cimmerian September. Me reading some Solomon Kane, dude. There's some weird Western books by by Robert E. Howard. There's a weird West, or just it's just called Westerns by Robert E. Howard. It's at the website of the Robert E. Howard Foundation, bro, and it's all like weird Westerns. So he takes his like sword and sorcery and puts it in the West. Did you see the sketch cover my bro and I collabed on? I think so. Was it I can't remember. Was it The People? I seen that one. That shit was dope, son. But also Alonzo did that dope ass Popeye one. They're both good. Yeah, I like that style you're doing, man. It's really really like cartoonist style. Having fun with that shit. That's it too, man. Your art's fucking getting better. Don't stop, don't stop. Get it. Yeah, hell yeah, dude. Yeah, you and your bro should do more of those like that. It's pretty cool that you got like you and your brother could work on stuff. That's dope. Yeah, The People. That's an awesome character. Really fun. If you guys haven't checked out Zaid Comics, go to zaidcomics.com, man. It's putting out some of the best books in indie right now. It's got an awesome universe. Go check out also go check out Ace as well, man. He's got his anthology out right now on Kickstarter. His universe equally as good. Highly recommend it. Oh, okay, cool. Yeah, Canales I love his art, man. What he did on the fucking abductables, man, highly underrated. Or just even people don't even know about it. A lot of people. And I think it was Reticulous or something like that. That's so fucking good. Yeah, 100%. Yeah, I'm working on Canales is awesome. Right now, the sword sorcery stuff I'm working on, I'm trying to build a world that's not really on Earth. You know what I mean? Because anytime I try to go back in history and just really, it's like, but it's Earth though. I want to make something that's completely mine. But so I didn't think I would be able to do it, but now I'm starting to do it. Today I had like a breakthrough. It was story wise and character wise. The ideas just started flowing. I was like, whoa! It just wouldn't stop. I had to start writing everything down. It's pretty cool though. I don't really push that shit. Like I let those ideas just kind of flow, and when they come, they come. But yeah, I try to be ready for it when they do come. But yeah, I mean that's what Robert E. Howard did. He built up his whole universe before he even wrote Conan. A lot of people don't want to hear that, but yeah, like now it's the popular thing is make sure the story's the best. That is true, but sometimes if you have your universe mapped out, it doesn't hurt. I don't think. So he did a lot of experimenting with Cole, and then did his whole universe, and then he started writing Conan, and he still kept fucking with it. I believe till he passed away. But if you look at his map of Hyboria, and then you have the Thurian age as well. It's something to think about. Because I think you could tell a good story no matter what. I mean, it's hard, but I mean, I think if you're doing another world, I think it's good to kind of have stuff laid out, and it's fun. But yeah, so you get your main world, you get your world laid out. This is what I think. Then you get the main character that's the most potent to you that you think is fucking awesome, and it's a story that one character just kind of outweighs everybody else, and then you start building that story with that character, and then you put that character through hell. You make them suffer and relatable to you. Then I think you'll be good. Put them on some adventures, him or her, you know. But it's like with sword and sorcery, particularly, you know, there's usually a guy going around on adventures, kicking some ass, and he's got a damsel with him, you know. He's either saving her or she's saving him, or either way they're hooking up or something like that, you know. It's usually what's going on. Yeah. I already know how I want to draw Conan next time. This one's pretty fun, but next time's going to be interesting. Let's see here. But yeah, that Dexter, man, that was pretty wild. Like I said, I hope they get another season of that. And I will say too, Zade Comics just launched a new book, The Man Without Strings, or The Man with No Strings. It's on his website right now. You guys can go pick it up. I'm going to be picking it up pretty soon too. Can't wait to read that. It's definitely Weird West. So go check that out. I'm gonna start messing with some of these. Maybe back down here again. Finish this leg up right here. So with this, I'm definitely gonna have probably some more motion with that, because he's taking this arm off. He's doing that. What I like to do is do pencils, inks, come back through with some more white paint if I want to add some effects, things like that. It's always fun. I don't know if there's any Howard fans watching right now, but if there is, I'd like to know what your favorite Robert E. Howard story is. If you could tell me, that'd be cool. If not, that's good too. Let's see, there's that. That's weird because he's really defined by Conan. That's like his, you know, but he's so much more than just Conan, the writer. Did a lot of stuff. Whole lot. Checking out these, I was watching videos on these giant apes, like the Gigantopithecus was the largest ape ever. A lot of people think it was might have been Bigfoot, and we possibly lived with them like on the planet at the same time. Just trying to imagine what it would be like to be around it. I think it's a 16-foot ape. Looked kind of like a orangutan. It was found in like Asia, possibly other parts of the world. Just wild, man. Wild. And just to think of some of the things that humans and Neanderthals, what we had to go up against when we were hunting. It's giants, you know. That's some of the cool things about Howard's world Conan's world is you know, they go up against stuff like that. But thinking of stuff like that and writing just makes you really wonder, you know, what you could do. Even with like what Edgar Rice Burroughs did with John Carter. It's making new worlds, you know. And I think once you do that, it's, you know, making that dialogue and not just telling the story, but making the words hit you like a ton of bricks, you know, like a combo. Basically, like you're throwing punches, like combinations with words, you know, as people are reading your story. I think that could be a fun challenge. Let's see here. What's that? There's that right there. A little shading in there. I'm gonna watch some Bob Ross tomorrow. You guys, pretty funny, pretty fun watch. Yeah. Just gotta make sure this is nice and patchy. This would be an actual fun piece to paint. If I was a painter, I would like to paint this. You can do a lot of fun with the fur and the scales. Yeah. All right. A little action right there. Climbing the beast, slaying the beast. You know, just imagine like a group of Neanderthals taking down a gigantic woolly mammoth or even a bear. I heard that they would trap cave bears in caves. There was so many during that period. There was so many animals. You know, cave bears, cave wolves. I think cave cats. Like so much, and a lot of the Neanderthals. I heard would at least one spot somewhere in I think Italy where they would just kind of run into a cave and go up high in the cave, climb up high, and the cave bears would run in or what have you, and they would throw stones and spears at them, and they would pick them off like that. But then you just think of like the bears sleeping, or hibernating, and these Neanderthals just come in, start taking them out. Pretty crazy when you think about it. Thanks everybody for watching. The 10 people. Thanks for stopping by. For those that don't know, this channel I do comic book reviews. I'm doing live draw streams now of like stuff that we talk about, vote on, whatever. It's fun. Just started doing those. I do videos on how to make comic books. If you guys have any ideas for video topics, let me know. I haven't really made any of those probably in about a month or so. Right now, for this, it's Samrian September. That was created a concept by Michael K. Vaughn. He's got a YouTube channel. I highly recommend his channel. Go subscribe to him. Basically, this month or this year, reading anything that has to do with Howard. So it could be his stuff. It could be Conan comics. For all the people that are out there that are creating content, you could do a video like that and hashtag it, maybe talk about it. And get out there and read some Robert E. Howard or go read some Roy Thomas, go read some Jim Zub, go pick up all the new heroic signatures, go check out Russ Leach and Randy Zimmerman's at the Atlantean. So there's just tons of stuff, and put a little hashtag in the video and That'll bring awareness to Howard. Go read some Solomon Kane, some Brad McMorn. There's a lot of cool stuff out there. Go check out the Howard Foundation's, I think, their website. They have all kinds of genres that Howard wrote. He pretty much seems like he did everything but comedy. You know, I want to pick up he's got a horror book too. I didn't know that. they publish just his horror stories. And when you're reading Conan, I mean, it's pretty. You definitely get that. You definitely get. There's some horror in Conan in some of the stories I've read for sure, man. It's got the dread and this nightmarish quality to it. You really like feel like you're there, and it just feels like a nightmare, which I dig. And yeah, it's really awesome. What's that? Looking forward to Deathstalker. Oh man, I don't know when, or I don't know how many days it's going to be playing, but I really want to go see it. I'm out here in California, so I might have to go down to LA and watch it. Probably going to be at the Yard House Theater or something like that, but I'm not sure. But I definitely want to watch it. Looks really cool. Right. I think I might start pulling out, or no, I'll start working on this other gorilla right here. This is probably his mate. Conan, he caught him on their first date, maybe, you know. It's not fun. Yep. Horrible Conan. It's ruining the party. All right, there's that. Right. All right, let's start on the head. Hey, Montoya. What's up, brother? Thanks for stopping by, man. Hope you're having a good Tuesday night. Started watching that Chuck Dixon movie, The Working Man. It's pretty good. Yeah, I just started watching it. I think it's kind of like his new Punisher, you know. It's got Jason Statham in it. And I got a little ways through it, but it was really late and I passed out, so I might go check that out tonight. When I think the new Alien Earth comes out, I think I missed the last 2 episodes of that, so got to catch up on that. That show's been pretty solid so far. Surprisingly. Yep. Conan was in a heap of trouble. I'm ready for the fall, man. I'm over the heat, and it ain't even hot, and I'm over it. We were actually pretty spoiled this year, but I am over it. 100%. Yeah, bring on the cold, right? Thanks for the 10 people watching. If you guys got any questions, let me know. Shout out your favorite Robert E. Howard stories if you got them. I recommend go reading if you're going to start reading Conan, start from the first one, which is debatable, but I would say it's the Frost Giant's daughter. And what's kind of cool about it is it's the only story where it's dealing like with the reason the cold for the most part. Reason I think Nordheim. Yeah. And he's a young Conan in there. Yes, bring on the cold. Totally down with that. Bring on the cold front. Lay these arms out a little bit, then I could start putting the scales and the patchy hair on there. It'd be fun. That gorilla, I said, little off the top. Set a little off the top. Yeah. I can always come back and put a bunch of fur on these guys. Yeah, I think I was talking about this the other night. I was listening to the Conan the Barbarian score. I think it was I forgot what orchestra was conducting it or playing it. I think it was in Greece because that's where I believe that's where Basil Palladorus is from, the guy that wrote the score for it. But yeah, it was pretty awesome. I forget how many good songs are just on that soundtrack. Not just the main theme. Movies just filled with awesome songs, scores. There's a lot of gorillas in Conan too, tons, and just like crazy like apes and stuff. It's pretty badass. Let's see here. Yeah. Okay. That. Let's see here. I have to check my old poster box. I just realized that I had Frazetta large print in an old frame. My gave me when I was a lad. We lad. Didn't know what it was until a few months ago. Yeah, man. I think you said you're in Texas. I think there's a lot of Frazetta stuff out there because of the Robert E. Howard. Um, I mean, Howard's from out there, but I think the museum's out there, the Frazetta Museum. I know that Robert Rodriguez. I think he's one of the caretakers of it because he owns a bunch of original Frazetta pieces. So does Kirk Hammett from Metallica. That fucker owns a bunch of a bunch of Frazetta like originals. Guillermo del Toro owns a bunch of Bernie Wrightson originals too. It's crazy. He's That's like some of the stuff that he's not going to part with because Guillermo's selling it. If you guys didn't know, Guillermo del Toro's auctioning off a lot of the stuff from his bleak houses. Mm-hmm. Interesting, or I mean, intriguing. People say interesting all the time now, like it's think it's a bad thing or something. So I'm like, be careful the way I say shit. Let's see. Interesting. It's like, no, it's actually, I'm really interested. I always wanted to go to that bleak house. It's pretty cool. Okay. I seen Del Toro's post, but didn't have time to read it and see what the deal was. Yeah, because he's kind of afraid that there's gonna be fires, that are gonna burn everything down because he's already had to save his house, I guess, like a bunch of times from from the fires. There's a lot of them out here in California. It's pretty wild, man. So many all the time now. Crazy, crazy. Okay, like that. Patchy gorilla. Michael Cruz, he's got hair coming out of every pore. I'll be right back looking it up. Nice. Yep, he's patching it up, man. Let's see here. Just got that right there. And then I'll probably keep adding like different lighting and whatnot till I get the effect I'm really sold on towards the end. So I really want to bring out those scale plates and that bushy gorilla hair. So it's all part of the process. It's all part of the hunt. Let's see here. So right here, I'm going to do a little bit of that. Ba-da-ba-da-bump. 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 Listen to the Conan the Barbarian, Conan the Destroyer soundtrack too. But I haven't really heard any orchestras cover it, probably because it's not as popular, but it fucking slaps. Basil did that one too. Just a little more fast paced too, like the whole movie is. So obviously it's like PG-13, but it's still good. Not as good, but I still put it as like the second best sword and sorcery movie of the 80s. Definitely. Okay. So we got that in there like that. So a bit of that. Then I want to kind of come in here and just throw some random hairs, give it some variety. Get that bushiness in there, Little something different. There we go. I should be spitting out here in a second. Let's see here. All right. Okay. So I looked it up, and there's a couple of books. One is like 500, and the other is 180. And a movie also. Might opt for the movie first. 500 pages. I mean, yeah. Those are all short stories too. So you could read a little bit of them. I think the main novel that he did, he might have done more, but that's Hour of the Dragon. That's like the last Conan story. That's when he's a king. That's an actual novel. So that one's going to be a bunch. But yeah, there's like 3 books from Del Rey, man. Those ones, I would just start with the first one. I think it's like the Coming of Conan, something like that. Start working on some of this stuff down here. Bum, 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 bum. 500 pages. It's a big one, but it'll be money well spent and time well earned. Entertainment. 100%. That I promise. puppy dry a little bit. All right. Yeah, the Solomon Kane book is Savage Tales of Solomon Kane. I got that one for $13 off Amazon. So good. If you're into horror, man, action horror, Solomon Kane. Where it's at, bro. I would say Conan is horror too in a lot of his own ways as well. Definitely. A lot of that going on in there. Let's see here. Do some of the trees right here. These are going to be kind of silhouetted down in like down the hill for the most part. Want them to look like old, fucked up, scary trees. Inks are looking great. Gotta head to bed. Until next time. Hey, thanks for stopping by again, Montoya. I appreciate you, man. I hope you have a good what's it called? Bridge day tomorrow. Or some might say hump day. Same thing. Get out the middle of the week. Yeah, I think next time, going forward too, I'm going to try. But when I draw Conan, I'm going to try to draw like scenes that are from the books, from the Howard books. That's what I'm going to aim to do that. Like big epic battles, because there's there's this one where I think a witch shall be born or a witch will be born. He's like, it says like he was like takes on like 12 guys. I think he takes them all out like behind like in front of a big gate or a drawbridge or something like that, or the city gates. And it says like the bodies were just knee high. He was knee high in bodies. He was just taking people out, taking out guards. Because well, I don't want to spoil it, but let's just say that there was a riot going on because something going on in the city that he was that he it's kind of like one of the main military officials in. He wasn't a general per se, but he was one of the main guys at that point. It's in the beginning of the story. But later on, that's when he gets nailed to the tree. He gets crucified. So after that part, they take him and then they crucify him out there, and that's the scene that Milius put in there when they're starting to eat him, and he bites the buzzard or the vulture buzzard, spits it out. That's from the book. So there's a lot of stuff that Milius put in the first Conan. He really just put whatever the fuck he wanted in there from Cole and Conan and just made a dope movie, you know. If that's the only Conan movie we ever get, I'm cool with that. Like if it's not better than that, you know, I could live with that. But I know that we could get something even better. Like way better. It's possible. You know, and this is coming from a guy that my favorite movie is Conan the Barbarian, and I know we could do a Howard better. 100%. But yeah, like that scene where he's just hacking fools down in front of the guys coming at him. I just could see that in my head. Just like imagine Frazetta like having all that artistic power to like just pick the stuff he wanted to draw from Howard. It's pretty cool. Pretty awesome. All right. I might even come in here and add some ink wash. I mean to do that. Some pencil tones. So fun. It's kind of breaking stuff up. So tempting to make music like with these new music programs. I've been like thinking about doing it. You can literally like write a whole song with your vocals and you can basically sing a melody if you're like a vocalist, and then that melody you could turn it into a guitar riff just with the program. It's pretty wild. You can do whole songs now, and I guess that's better than using AI, but I don't know if that probably is somewhat AI for them to do that program, I guess. Kind of see what we're cooking now a little bit. See the jungle down there, like down because I want these guys on like a cliff sort of, and the trees just right there on the cliff. There's just, you know, and he's kind of holding on. Conan's climbing up this fool and she's jumping down. There's probably another tree off to this side or something like that. This guy's on another tree, or maybe just the branches are kind of off that way. And then I wanted these to be like giant, like a city in the background made of like stone and bone. I think that would be kind of cool. Stone and bone, bro. What are you thinking, bro? Broseph? What are you thinking, Broseph? Okay. So I'll probably leave that for a little bit. Yeah. And then I might come back down here. Let's see. Start doing a couple more hairs right here. Get these patches. Get them all patched up. And be just doing random hairs all the time. And see, these gorillas, they got to be black too, like a lot of black fur on there, you know? So you got to be careful. Then you have the scales, lighting, then you have the blood coming through. So it's a lot of different things. A lot of black and whites. You got to see. For me, when I draw blood, I usually draw it like white because I want to, usually if I'm having a lot of ink, it kind of, sometimes when light hits, obviously the sun or light, blood's going to turn white. But it always looks cooler in black if you could pull it off. Blood always looks, when you're doing black and white, it always looks cooler in black. But sometimes you gotta, I think you gotta make it white, like the moonlight or the sunlight's hitting it or what have you, lighting. All right. I do a little bit of this right here. Right. That's good, man. I hope that guy goes and picks up some Conan. Michael Cruz. Thanks me. Yeah, that was badass. Fucking noble savage. I'm gonna be real too. Like I've never heard anybody that's read Howard be like, "Oh, he sucks. He just sucks." Like I've never heard anybody's. Anyway, I'm sure there's people out there. I can't stand him. Go fucking read Tolkien. Too action packed. I don't like so much action in my my reading. Kind of wanted to make this whole vine just black, this silhouette, but we'll see. We'll see what happens. Just for the break. Yeah, definitely gonna do a silhouette right here. Boom. Ba-dum. All right. Right. All right. There's that. Yeah, that'll work a little bit like that. Maybe. We'll see. We need more barbarian movies. Let's try that out. All right. Yeah. See. What's that? Let's see what I got right here. I'll probably start working on this right here. And this gorilla's gonna, yeah, like I said, I'm gonna start adding a lot of inks to this coming through. Probably with some blacks and whites. And start working on this one's hand right here. This one's a little dried out. Thanks again, everybody, for stopping by. I appreciate it. If you guys have any questions, let me know about Howard or Samrian September. I don't want to draw the L. Let's see here. Take that back right there. And again, even if you use a lot of detail, you know what I mean? Shit's getting really muddy or just getting overly detailed. You could always go in there and you could ink wash out certain areas. You can use graphite, go in there, break up your tones, just depending on what you really want told story wise and in the image you're drawing. Okay. This is so much fun. And the whole thing about the whole inking stages, like it's just relaxing, you know. All the thinking's done. You just come in here and you start fucking with some tones, adding stuff, taking stuff away, making mistakes, fucking up. You're hunting down that piece. You know what I mean? There's a lot of things I'd do differently now too with this, possibly, but I don't know yet. I'm still, still figuring it out. But that's the beauty of about the inking stage is you get to really just kind of chill out, and render it up, Fucking nails, man. Imagine getting clotted by those big gorilla nails, broken off ones. Oh, that'd be brutal. Savage. Owie. Ow. Man. Owie. Okay, there's that. Boom, 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 boom. Boom, 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 boom. Boom, 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 boom. All right. It makes me think of that movie Congo, though. I don't know if you guys have seen that. Go check that movie out. It's not from the director, but it's from the writer of Jurassic Park. It's not pulpy, but they could have had a pulp character in it for sure. Perfect, like type of Elborak or Indiana Jones type thing. It's got Bruce Campbell in it too, from Evil Dead fame. Yeah. See, Jai's Valiant. I wish I could just chill and draw like you are now. So tired after work. Yeah, you just got to do it. Just put on the camera and then just start drawing. And yeah, I usually chill for a while before I start drawing though, if I can. But the drawing is the chillaxing part. Thanks for stopping by the way. Um, but yeah, that's the chill part, especially when you're doing the rendering. That's and like for me drawing on camera, that's something I just started doing. I've had my channel for like over 5 years, and about a month ago, I was just like, you know what, fuck it, I'm gonna start drawing live. I'm just hanging out, talking to people that want to make comics or into stuff I'm into, and we can shoot the shit, chop it up. If they got questions on stuff, I'll try to help out to the best of my knowledge. But I typically have time to eat, shower, sleep, then get ready for work and do it all over again. Um, I would say carve out at least 30 minutes for yourself. You know, even if I don't, I mean, just try if you can. I know sometimes it can be kind of tight with that time, but I don't really know like that. Like that's what I do. Uh, it's hard. It's hard though. It's kind of like something some people are allowed to do or privileged to do, but like me, I usually sleep like 4 hours. So I carve out a little bit of time. I'm just like really tired, and I sleep in on my days off. That's usually what I try to do. Unless the kids wake me up. So, but yeah, that's it's different for everybody. Yeah, Mignola. I love Mignola style because like he'll draw I mean he has the art books. I don't know if you have them all, but I have one, The Art of Mike Mignola, and I studied that. I still pull it out every now and then and just kind of look at it, like what he does. He kind of creates like a regular drawing. I mean, I probably don't have to tell you this, but for people that are watching, and then he kind of deconstructs it and then starts adding all the lighting in there. And that's just like wow. And then he's always looking for shapes and that shape language and what's going to hit the most with the spot blacks and spot whites and whatnot. What's the most important thing. It looks like he's just slapping shit together, but it's not. A lot of people think that about him. It's about him like just keep subtracting and taking things away. It's pretty awesome. It's on my wish list. Recently, just got the one of the Hellboy comic collections to draw from. Yeah, Hellboy is the best comic book ever written, in my opinion. Uh, as far as like series, that's like the one I would recommend. That's like kind of well to put together, kind of mainstreamy shit. But then you have Conan, like then I would recommend Conan, all the Conan stuff. And Conan Hellboy is very very Robert E. Howard. Robert E. Howard could write a killer Conan story or Hellboy. Sorry, Hellboy is very Robert E. Howard style. I would say it's very much like Conan. a noble savage, you know, blue collar guy. He was just like, fuck this world. I'm gonna go. I got everything up until Hellboy in Hell. I saved that for me. I'm like, I'm gonna save this for a few years. This will be a real treat. Then I'll read Hellboy in Hell. But I kind of know what happens. I got spoiled. But yeah, you gotta have wish lists, definitely. For me right now, it's all the Del Rey, all the all the Del Rey Conan novels. There's 3 of those. I got the Solomon Kane one, so I'm reading that. I want the Cole books. I want the El Borak books. That's a lot of stuff right there. Then I went to all the old Marvel, Conan, everything, all the Sword and Sorcery, all the Marvel issues. I went to compendiums and omnibuses, however you want to say it. And then I also want, once they release, hopefully, I want the Dark Horse Carrie Nord run on Conan. That was the comics that I really got into when I was reading Conan. It wasn't the Marvel stuff; it was the Dark Horse stuff. It came out right around the time when Momoa came out too. And I remember, like, I went and I got issue 0. I got it somewhere; it's in the garage. And I remember that art too because it was. I think they were using like pencils, and then they were just coloring over it, and it looks fucking raw, like really awesome. The artwork, you know, pencils, and I think it's just pencils and Photoshop colors. And it looks great. Looks great. Like the first few issues were like that, and then I think they started switching it up. But my gateway into Conan was ultimately the John Milius film with Arnold Schwarzenegger. But once you read Conan like the way it's supposed to be by Robert E. Howard, you really, yeah, it's the best, and you really just want them to make that into a movie, you know? It's so cool. But yeah, if you can, like, I don't want to sound like, oh, just carve out time and draw your stuff. Yeah, Schwarzenegger's the best. You just got to make time, but you really do got to make time. That's the only way I could put it. Even when you're tired, if you could push it, just try really hard to push, because it is hard. It is, and some nights you won't do it, But I'll tell you what works for me is I have these white lights. White lights and coffee. That's what works. Specifically, white lights. Those are the lights that they use for offices and whatnot. They actually keep you awake. So if you have that with some coffee, and then try to limit your coffee throughout the day. Yep, got to make time. Yeah, I got to make time in the gym myself. Definitely. But yeah, for me, definitely these white lights. My wife bought some white lights and coffee. I try to do 1 cup in the morning. 1 cup in the morning, 1 cup in the afternoon, and then 1 cup at night. But lately it's been like 2, 2, and 2. I've been drinking like 6. Way too much coffee. But yeah. But I don't know, man. Like if I sleep more than 6 hours, I get like headaches and really tired. So I only need to sleep 6 hours. So I guess I'm kind of lucky that way. But yeah, just carve time out for yourself, and always remember that fucking up is like the best part of doing your pieces. You got to be willing to mess up. A lot of people are afraid. There's that. Arnold the Barbarian. Yeah. Get to the chopper, man. I hope he does one more like legacy sequel, bro. I hope he does. Like, if it was my choice, I would make Conan. I would make King Conan. I'd put him in there. Then I'd take him out. Have his son be like him and his son would be in the movie. I think that would be kind of cool because it's not really Howard. You know, it's Milius. It's the Milius verse of Conan. You know what I mean? Just kind of end the trilogy. And he doesn't got to be buff or nothing. He could be old and frail. Have his son in there help back him up a little bit. And then I would end that. Then I would just start over. I'd do an HBO show. Conan. I think that would be killer, man. That's the way to do it. Get like Cavill or Alan Ritchson or maybe like a no name to do it. That'd be the way to go. That was close. Okay, here we go. Almost got booted off. Agreed. My goal at the moment is to be able to draw the world around me, like events, like photojournalism, but drawing. Not necessarily a political cartoon or urban sketching. Not sure if there is a word for it. No, that's just kind of like slice of life, I guess. That's cool, man. You draw the world around you too. If you're going to be doing comics and things, that's the best. You know, you have to do that. Yeah, the more you do that, the best. I'm working on comics and then and illustrations actually. Right now, I'm doing a couple commissions. I do this as a break in between. Otherwise, I'd be working on the commissions, but they don't need them right away. So I'm privileged in the fact that I get to work on this. And then I'm working on a book called Hell War. That's my book. It's a Norse bounty hunter metalhead. I hate to say this, but it's like a cross between Hulk, Thor, and Lobo. You know, that's the type of, definitely has like a heavy metal 2000 or heavy metal magazine type feel to it. And that's the one I'm working on. That one's going to have a lot of very indie too. I'm working on that. That's going to be hopefully coming out in March. I got about 9 pages left. But I might add a couple more pages for action. I'm in the climax. I'm in the final boss fight right now. The main one of the two, the main guy and the baddie. So that part's want it to be fun. So I might take a minute on that. And then I'm also working on a vampire hunter book called The Puritanian. My buddy's writing it. My buddy Brian Kriskow. Hopefully we'll get that done. I got technically 9 pages done on that, so that's already done. That's going to be like for now it's going to be, I'm thinking like a regular kind of comic size, probably like 20 pages. If it's up to me though, we'll make it bigger, like 40 or 50 pages, but we'll see what happens with that. Depends on the story and whatnot. So I'm doing that, and then supposed to be working on something for an anthology, but I'm still hearing word on that. And I'm working on my own sword and sorcery world that I'm going to write stories in, and that'll probably be working on that for the rest of my life. That's just the genre, man. I really love sword and sorcery. Always have. Ever since I was a wee pup. So, kind of working on a few things right now. That's how I like to do it. I don't like to just work on one thing. I get burned out. I get fatigued. So, I find that if I work on a multitude of things, it keeps the creative juices flowing. I'm trying, man. Yeah, they're really fun. Hopefully they all come to fruition. It's one thing to say it, and then it's another thing to put it out. And I plan on crowdfunding like a lot of them, hopefully. But I'm at the point now where I'm going to make my books, whether I crowdfund them or not. They're going to get made, even if I got to print them myself and do all that. They're just going to take fucking forever to print. I'm hoping to get some cool sketches or drawings at a football watch party this weekend. Yep, you just got to take your little sketch journal with you, you know. That's what I do. I got one of those now. Pretty badass. I like to have a lot of sketchbooks for different stuff. I'm filling this one up right now with just characters that I'm creating for the world I'm building. I think that one's going to be really fun. Hopefully people dig it. What? Just because you like something don't mean everybody else is, or doesn't mean I don't know. The main thing is you just got to make what and have fun making what you do. You know, people might respond to it. Chances are better that way. Got to be true to yourself. I really do feel that way though. Like if there's something that you're working on and you think it's cool and you know you're having fun doing it, I think other people are going to respond to the fun that you're having in it. You know, even if it's not 100% like pro level or mainstream level or whatnot. People, it's just infectious. Like reading work that or reading or watching or whatnot work that people had a lot of fun making. You can just tell that they put a lot of themselves and TLC into it. Is a pad of Bristol paper the way to go? If I wanted to make a finished, oh yeah, Bristol's the way to go. That's what I'm using right here, and you could use all types of sizes. Yeah, and usually Bristol's about $1 a piece. Yeah, Bristol's the way to go. Or if you're gonna do like watercolor paper, anything like that, mixed multimedia that'll usually hold up pencils or that'll hold the inks too. You know. Yeah. Um, I don't think so. I use soft paper, but sometimes like that grit will the really rough paper it'll give like a little bit of a different texture when you're doing your artwork on it, your inking. The smooth stuff too works better if you're going to be penciling and then erasing a lot, like I do. So I usually go with the smooth paper if I can get it. You know, that's what I would recommend. I like using Strathmore too. That's pretty nice paper, but I always say get out there and like just try different ones. You know, 'cause there's a lot, a whole lot. really pick out these scales right here. There we go. Let's see here. Hey, what's up, Drawn Sword? How you doing, brother? Thanks for stopping by. Love Bristol. Now I used to always use the cartridge paper. Jace Valiant. It was a pleasure hanging out. Wish I could stay longer, but it's time to pass out. Hope to see you again. Hell yeah, man. I'll see you again. And if you want, consider subscribing. I'm trying to do these streams more. Okay, there's that. And yeah, get some good rest, man. Rest up. As long as you get good rest. Sometimes it's all you need. Even if it's like 3 hours. Oh, I got an idea. Let's try this out. Scaly underarm right there. There we go. Oh yeah, man. Thanks. I appreciate it, man. Oh yeah. Hope I can help you out. Here to help. Okay, yeah, there we go. We can work with that. Starting to get a little closer. And then I'm probably gonna come in with some inks right here to make this part pop a little more. Let's see what's that all about. Use a little action stomp right here. See what's really going on. You can see our boy's boot right there. Hopefully. How's your comic coming along, Drawn Sword? Hope that's working out for you. If you're still there. There we go. Make that pop a little bit. Come up like that. And then put a little feather like that. Feather that in there like that so it's not so... Okay. Might have to just do this. Might have to be just like that. There we go. Probably just come up a little more. That's a little bit better. All right. Just finished penciling 14 and 15 today. Fuck yeah. I'm excited for that, man. Gotta pick up your let me get your art book too, man. So many of the homies' books I want to get, man. So little time. Is your comic going to be in the same universe as your art book with the same characters? The Scoundrels Dread universe? Or is that something different? Yeah, same. Other galaxy. Ooh, that's gonna be cool. That's gonna be rad. Yeah, sounds badass. It's crazy to use different types of ink and then things come out differently. Drawn sword graphics. Savage Sword of Conan meets Star Wars Tales of the Jedi meets the Book of Enoch. Ooh, man. That's going to be fucking metal, man. Ah, can't wait to check that out. Yeah, that's gonna be awesome. I don't know if you've ever checked out there's a book back in the day, Drawn Sword, called Mosaic by Kyle Hotz. I think you'd really like that one. Oh, this no, this is this month right now is Cimmerian September. So basically, it was a concept created by Michael K. Vaughn on his YouTube channel. He did it 3 years ago. I recommend subscribing. And it's basically like YouTube, and you you're basically reading Robert E. Howard's work. First year was mostly Conan. The second year, I think, was a little bit more like you could read anything Howard. This year is just anything Howard or Howard fringe, so you could be reading uh, the heroic signatures Conan. You could be reading old school Conan. Anything that has to do with Robert E. Howard. So there's that. I'm doing the heroic signature stuff, calling that out, and then I'm doing this piece right here. And this was just a concept I came up with. What if they were reptilian gorillas? That Conan had to fight, and they're being brought on by this shaman right here in some ancient land. I thought, oh, that would be cool, and I just kind of came up with it, and was thinking, oh, this would be a cool like pastiche Conan comic someday if I ever get around to it. So like that's probably what I'll go with if I ever do a Conan pastiche. So yeah, this is what I'm working on right now, just for fun. I don't know what I'm gonna draw next though. Yeah, something. Trying to do like one of these every week or two. Some type of fan art, you know. Right now, I've been doing a lot of pulp stuff. Reptilian gorillas, very cool. Yeah, I haven't seen those before, and it kind of works out, you know, with the whole set and whatnot, and then the ape god from some of the Conan stories, and Howard put a lot of apes in his books, you know. So I think it kind of works really good. So I had this concept of him, this shaman. He's got like this ape arm, this gorilla arm, and then he's got this spear that's an actual like rattlesnake. So you got like the rattle at the end of the balance. I forgot the name of the back of the spear. And then the head of the spear is a snake head, and then you got this you got the head of the spear on top of that, like it's biting down on it. And then yeah, I took some inspiration from Clive Barker's Pinhead, in which he took inspiration from a lot of African folk art, stuff like that. So a bunch of ideas just kind of came out. I'm like thinking, oh, this would be a cool Conan pastiche. Could be a fun little, fun little comic. Yeah, and then I was thinking maybe he, like the shaman, like put a curse on this gorilla and this one right here. Maybe they were like a couple, you know. Maybe they were like newlyweds or something, or they made a deal with them, and he like called upon two gods to curse him. He got fucked up, and now they're interacting with Conan and his vixen. So that's that's what I kind of came up with. What is that? It's funny how you can just start drawing something and then you start kind of creating a world or just like a story, you know? Yeah. So like, that's one way you can actually come up with the story. Sometimes you could just be drawing a picture, you know, and then it kind of starts laying the groundwork for a story. Then you could take that and render it. I just discovered Mosaic last year and got the trade paperback. Love the ink work. Carl's son told me he brushed it all. Damn. That's crazy. Yeah, I love that book, man. My wife got me the trade paperback for my birthday, I think, like 3 years ago or something. And ever since then, I was just like blown away by, that's one of my favorite comics. I was on a stream with the artist named Mangum, and he recommended it because I told him I like Hotz's work. He's like one of my favorite artists working today. And yeah, I checked it out and I was just like, dude, this is the Crow me Blade Runner. That's badass. And I always go to that whenever I get like need inspiration for inking. The tones, man, the tones in there, just something else. So him and Panosian, what they do with inks, they're just both those guys, really, really inspiring. Whenever I need inspiration, I go to like at their work. I just yeah. So 100%, dude. Fucking metal. But Panosian, I really like Roberto Della Torre's work. What he did on Conan. Even his inks are fucking badass. Everyone's, they're like, oh, he's just John Buscema, but like, he's got his own thing going on too. Even his Conan's a little different than Buscema's. His Conan's way, like, his neck is way bigger. He's way buffer too than Buscema's. And also, I would say that Della Torre uses a lot more shadows, like Mignola does. Great work. Big fan of Conan and Robert Howard. Thanks, Tasty T. Thanks for stopping by. I don't know if you're a big fan of Samrian September, and that's what I'm taking part in right now. I'm drawing Conan, and also reading the new Conan stories that are coming in from Heroic Signatures. I highly recommend those. And Yeah, man. Thanks for stopping by. It's my favorite genre, sword and sorcery. Doesn't get any better than that. Yeah. I'd also recommend Cole. If you like Conan, Cole, I think Cole's equally as cool. And Solomon Kane. I haven't read El Borak. I haven't read Bran McMorn yet either. My brother's read Bran McMorn. A lot of people I know have, and they say like Worms of the Earth is like possibly Howard's best story. And then you have the crossover that I forgot, it's with Conan and Cole. So I can't wait to read that. I feel like there's just so much stuff to read by Howard that I don't have enough time in my life to read it all. It's kind of annoying, to be honest. I'm just gonna have to get some of it on audiobook, because a lot of the time I'm reading or I'm drawing, so I can't read. And even if I'm listening to it on audiobook, I have to go back and re-listen to like things all the time, because Howard, the way he writes, he's just so like the way the rhythms that he has and how much stuff he packs into it, and he's like a real like poet and lyricist just with the writing. You have to go back and listen to the words. It's so cool. But really, it really does take you on a trip. His work. I heard that when Howard was writing dialogue, the neighbors could hear him, because he would go back and he would reread his dialogue out loud, and they would be like, "Shut up, Howard," or "Yeah, shut up, Robert." But I could see, I could hear it, man. Like, he's got rhythm in his words. Cool. I found Mosaic though, an art book. I'll check out those stories. Sorry, Tasty Tea. I'll check out those stories out. Sword Sorceries for the win. Thanks, man. You come to the right spot. I'm working on some sword and sorcery myself. I do comics, live draw streams. Think about subscribing if you want. He was a Chad in a world of NPCs. Yes, he was. Yes, he was, and he didn't. It's only one of a kind. And then Drawn Sword. Cool. I found Mosaic through a art book comic channel here on YouTube. Rowley Zero. Yes, Rowley Zero. That dude's awesome. I'm subscribed to him. I always love finding channels like that. Yeah. Now I'm just trying to hunt down all the sword and sorcery channels, a lot of the indie comic channels. That's where it's fucking at right now, man. I mean, it's always been there, but that's where I'm really kind of focused right now. Yeah. Yeah, he really had a lot of it figured out, I think, Howard did. The way the world is. As far as societies and downfalls of them. But I really love the way he writes. And when people write Howard, I could see how it could be an extreme challenge to try to get his rhythm, dude. His rhythm. It's on a different level. But yeah, the brushwork with Kyle Hotz. Eventually, I want to move into just brushes and nibs. That's going to be my thing. It's been that way, but I just haven't mastered them yet. But I got a bunch of these Series 7s right here. These Windsors. They're brand new. I'm gonna get in there before I die. I got to get in there with these. Yeah. Start using them. Yeah. It's one of those things though. But then another thing too, guys, is I want to learn how to paint. I want to, do some Frazetta, want to be Frazetta shit, before I die. Hopefully get to that level. like paint over this, do some pencils. But I'm like yeah. Just waiting on that to pull the trigger. think what I'm going to do is I'm just going to come up with like 2 or 3 colors, and I'm going to paint pictures in those, and I'm going to get like my own like little color like palette that I use, make it easy on myself. I've seen this one guy that he fucking just pencils or inks something, and he spills coffee all over it, and then he starts painting like with one other color. I'm like, I could do that. That sounds cool. But his stuff comes out badass. Yeah. I think there's something about with sword and sorcery. I think there's something about like what would be the area? Not prehistory, but um the Stone Age, I guess. Because technically Howard, all of the Conan stuff and Cole is prehistory, but more like the Stone Age sword and sorcery. I want to do like Gothic stone and sorcery. I'd call it that. A little bit of that, I guess he did one story like that. That was his first story. I think it was Spear and Fang, and they actually had those characters in the new Savage Sword of Conan. It's badass. Highly recommend that. I did a review on it. If you guys want to go pick up that book, you'll be extremely happy. It's got a Sailor Steve story in there. Totally different character. Pretty fun. Kind of tying it all in. Let's see here. Did you know about Yee's comics in Mexico featuring Conan and Belit in the early 50s? La Reina de la Costa Negra comic. No, I didn't know about that. But I do know that like Conan's huge and like has a winged gorilla. That's dope. I mean, I know that there's a winged gorilla in one of the comics, one of the stories I read. I think I forgot which one it was. I think there's 2, but don't quote me for sure. But I think there's 2 Conan stories that Robert E. Howard wrote too that have winged gorillas in them, or at least winged primates, or primates, because he has a lot of primates. But I kind of want to do something. That's like Stone Age, kind of like Stone Age, or with that's kind of what I'm thinking about. But sword and sorcery, but with some other elements too that I don't think anyone's ever done. We're bringing a lot of horror into it, not like primal. But yeah, people have been doing that for a while. It's nothing new. Stone Age, stones. Yeah, it would be stone and sorcery. Let's see here. Are you drawing Conan? Pito Uchiha. Thanks for stopping by. Appreciate it. Yes, I am drawing Conan. Conan the Barbarian Cimmerian. The Barbarian Cimmerian. Looks awesome. Thank you. Thanks everyone for stopping by tonight. Happy Wednesday. We're halfway through the week, so that's cool. Looking forward to that. Can't wait for the weekend. It's going to be a great one. Yeah, but the ultimately one day, yeah, man, the paints. Oh, yeah, I really just want to do black and white now, probably for a while. But one day I'd like to learn how to just paint. I'll be doing black and white comics and maybe painted comics. I want to learn how to paint really fast. Do stuff like Bisley, but really artsy and fast, and every page is a work of art. Whether it's good or bad, it's still like an art piece. But people can still follow the story. It's got a lot of energy. It's very frenetic and kinetic. A fast way to do it. But that's going to take me a long time. But people do it, and I gotta take some of my own advice and just not be afraid and just get in there and try to paint. And it's really cheap. There's so much stuff you could get like Dollar Tree. Just gonna leave that for a while like that, but decided to fill it in. The gorillas look really detailed. Oh, thanks, man. Yeah, I'm trying to make these like reptilian gorillas. That's what I'm going for. They're like a couple that got turned into these monsters by the shaman up here. Yeah, that's kind of what I'm going for that. And then these are going to be interesting. Trying to think about how I want to render these. This is like Stone and Bone. That sounds like a good story title, man. Stone and Bone. I like that. Stone and Bone. Yeah, that's fucking awesome. That'd be a good name for a band, a song, a comic book, a chapter. It's a good Stone and Bone. But yeah, these are going to be Stone and Bone. That's going to be the name of this piece, Conan Stone and Bone. These are going to be Stone and Bone, and I'm trying to figure out how to. Heroic Signature said Horley's painted Conan the Barbarian number 25 in oils. Yes, it's going to be 30 pages, man. He's like the Frazetta of our time right now for Conan, but like kind of even more in a way, because Frazetta wouldn't even paint the whole issue. You know what I mean? He would just do the one. Oh, and then on top of that, issue 20. I was gonna drop this earlier today, but I forgot. But issue 26, the Biz is doing the colors. I want Bisley to do a whole. I want him to paint. I ain't gonna lie though, man. I like Horley just as much as Bisley. I think I think you would know this, Drawn Sword, but didn't Horley study under Bisley? I could have sworn he did. Someone told me that. Let's see here. Yeah, I know how to do this, but I don't want to do that. Probably just going to do it the same way. Yeah, I can't wait for that. Cannot wait. Someday I'd like to paint a cover for a black and white comic. Yeah, man. That's how I want to start out, Do the covers. That'd be so cool. Like Savage Sword, right? That's what I'm thinking anyways. That's what I want to do. Can't remember about Biz and Horley. At least they got started in 2080. Oh, okay. Yeah, I could have swore someone told me he studied under him, but I could be wrong. Either way, that's cool. Let's see here. Drawn Sword Graphics. A New Zealand cartoonist, Martin Edmond, jumped on a plane, went to England, and knocked on Biz's door, and ended up staying with him and getting a bit of work. He did a comic, White Trash. Cool. Oh, thanks. Thanks about that, Bito. I appreciate that. Yeah, I'd have to check that out, man. That sounds cool. Let's see here. I get that stone action going. I want this to look like stones. Stone and bone. Ba-da-ba-da-bum. Let's see here. He had a crazy, exaggerated painted style, a big biz influence, but his own. Yeah, that's where it's at, right? That's it's nothing. Yeah, you know. There was this one guy, I forgot who his name was. He did a Bisley comic. Sorry, he did a Bisley. He did a Lobo comic, and it had Dead Man in it. I don't know if you've seen that one. Oh, the guy had a really cool cartoony, like Bisley style as well. I think he might have passed away though. But yeah, that guy, man, it's crazy how like one cat could just come out and fucking knock out a book and just have some of the coolest style you ever see, and then they just kind of disappear. You know, like they don't resonate somehow, or um, yeah, I don't know, just a hard world. Um, hey, thanks, man. I appreciate it. Thank you much. Hope you're having a blessed week. Uh, yes, that Martin Edmond, the Lobo Deadman comic. Sadly, he deleted. Oh man, fuck. Some of the best, you know, just like Howard. Sometimes they just need someone to talk to, you know, just for like fucking 2 minutes. That's all they need. That's all it takes. Sometimes just a couple minutes. Two type of people in this world. There's givers, and there's fucking takers. And artists are givers. I would say that. Uh, Pito Uchiha. Did you ever get the sketchbook you wanted? Yeah, I did, man. Thank you. I got got it at Walmart. Yeah, nice little one. It was $8, and it's got a bookmark in it and a folder, bunch of stuff. Just kind of like that. Not too big. I think it's pleather. But yeah, I'm gonna fill that. I've already started putting some characters in there. Just kind of take it with me wherever I go. $8 is good. Yeah, no, totally. It's a little small, but it's like I kind of wanted something small. I was like really kind of torn. Do I want a big one? Do I want a small one? It's like, I don't know. But it worked out. It's small, but it's good for just kind of doing one character. Maybe a couple headshots. You know. I'll do a character now. I'll like come up with the physique, and then maybe I'll do like a headshot, a couple headshots for now. But yeah, I kind of want it a little bit bigger though, because sometimes I want to do the turnarounds on the same page. That way I have what the character looks like from the front and behind. Because when you're going to draw them, you want to know what they look like. You need some ref for it, you know. So yeah. Start doing a little steepling. For bone, I like to do steepling. Ever since I seen Richard Corbin's work, I was like, dude, that's whenever I totally just took that from him. Something about the steeple with bone. And I remember seeing, like, in high school, I took some drawing classes, and that was one of the first thing we did was skull steepling, you know. I'm sure you guys would do the same thing, but for some reason for me it kind of works. I like it. Yeah. But with bone, I like it to be kind of a little scratchy too. Steeple scratching. Steeple scratch noodle for bone. Then I like to do these little circles and kind of do a little drag afterwards. Because if you look at bones, they on the marrow they have these little holes. They kind of rip, kind of sinewy in the bone, in the marrow. I don't know. But wanted to do the stone and bone. Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah, $8 is good though. Oh, nice. Try to avoid just straight black lines, you know, for some reason. I like it to kind of, with the steeple, kind of fade into it, gradient into it. Got these little caves in here and these towers. Probably little like villages in each one of these holes. This could be like a city, a tower city. I don't know. That's the way I see it, I guess. What's that? Boom, boom, boom. Might I might draw a little bit of. Don't want to put too much stuff in there. Starts to get a little busy. Just got the fully painted graphic novel, one by Greg Broadmoor, Cave Woman and Dinosaurs in a Brutal Savage World. Excellent work. Oh yeah, man. Oh, that's so cool. That's what I'm talking about, man. This Sword and Sorceries, where's that? That's kind of what I'm trying to cook up right now, man, with the world I'm working on. A little bit of that. Yeah. It's hard though, man. I'm trying not to Obviously, my shit's gonna have a lot of Robert E. Howard influence, but I'm trying to stay away from a lot of the shit that he did. I want to do something real original, but like true to myself, as far as a lot of the tastes that I have. It's hard. It's real fucking hard. Your book, your characters, your world looks awesome. Truly original. I haven't really seen anything like that I can think of. Scoundrel's Dread. It looks fucking dope. Yeah. One Path by one of the Weta artists. Ooh, yeah. Weta's got their shit together, man. Especially back then when they were doing all the stuff for Lord of the Rings. Yeah, absolutely, man. Calls it like I sees it, 100%. No smoke blow. Calls it like I sees it. At the top of this skull right here. This thing's starting to gray out a little bit, but that's cool. That's okay. It's okay. I'll leave those dots in there. I like the way that looks. Happy accident. I don't know what it is about grass. I like drawing grass. Come back for the grass. I'm gonna mess with this hair a little bit more before I take off. Let's see. There we go. Tonight was an awesome night. Thanks for everybody for stopping by. If you guys have any questions before I go, probably gonna bounce in like 10 minutes. Get those curly hairs in there too. Those wild hairs, It's great. How long is this taking you roughly? Let's see here. Probably 6 or 7 hours already. Because I started. I've been filming all of it for the most part. I started with the thumbnails, and then I went into pencils, then inks. This is I did a little bit of inks last time. I started the inks, and then this whole stream's been all the inks. And the next stream, I plan on finishing most of it. Yeah. But still working on my speed. But yeah, these pieces, they take me a while. They take me like 10 to 16 hours probably. Because I'm slow as fuck. Gotta work on that speed though, But that's the whole, like, for me, the beauty of these draw streams is I could just chill, get to do a couple streams, but also show people my process on each piece, like the thumbnails to the pencils to the inks to the maybe a little bit of white paint and whiteout effects afterwards, stuff like that. Because I'll probably come in here and I'll add more gore and add more lighting and things like that with white paint. I like to do that, and I might add some more inks. I might add some more pencils to it as well. Yeah. Yes, sir, Bobski. Too long though. Does take me a while. But like I said to my kid, just worry about it, just getting it done, and then speed will come eventually, I guess. Hopefully. Take your own advice, Dad. Shit. It's nice to enjoy the process, even though it's probably not fast enough. Yeah, it is. Hurry that piece up. Why are you noodling so much? I had this one guy jump on one of the streams who was saying that. He got me busting up. Yeah, it's funny though. He's right, but yeah, it is what it is. But yeah, the goal is to do like one of these a week. One, yeah, one at least one a week, one every week or 2 weeks, depending on how much time I got. But and I try to just work on these mostly only on the live stream. Peter Jackson's King Kong was dope too. What's your weekly comic pace like? I try to do, for me, I try to do 1 page a week. That's pencils and ink. So that's what I try to do. But I also do this too. So yeah, if I wasn't doing that, then I would probably do maybe a page and a half. But normally, yeah, it's a page a week. That's, to me, that sounds like pencils and inks. If I was doing digital, it would probably be 2 pages a week. But to be honest, man, I just started doing on my last pages of my book. I've been doing like pencils first and then ink. So I'm trying to do like knock out 5 pages of pencils and then just do the inks afterwards. So I've been doing some of that. I think I'm going to do that going forward too. I think it's a cool thing to do. Keeps it moving, Keeps the juices flowing, I guess. The creative ones, Sometimes like you do a pencil a page and then you stop and you ink it, and then you kind of could have like a thought process where you could have drawn like 5 pages. You could have just burned through them, because I know a guy that he does fantasy, and he was saying he would do 10 pages a day. And I was like, no fucking way. And he's like, yep. I'm like, what happens when you don't you don't like a piece, if it's not working? He's like, I throw it away. So he just goes straight to he gets an idea in his head and he just goes straight to pencils on the board and he just starts inking it. And yeah, it works for him because he was saying that like 90% of the time, what's in his head, he uses like 90% of the time, like the layouts that are in his head anyway. So he's just like, fuck it. So I've done that before. I did that on a few pages for my book, and it's liberating and fun. And I end up using the same layouts a lot. I don't really change my layouts that much. Very rarely. I kind of like I end up going back to the one that I first drew. So 53 pages a year with one a week. That's enough for a decent link story. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, probably eventually once I get all my stuff done that I'm working on, because I'm working on a lot of projects. Once I start doing my sword and sorcery, I'll probably just be kind of working on that. Maybe. Yeah. Yeah, most of my style comes out in the inks too, so I try not to spend too much time on my pencils, especially if I'm doing like sword, sorcery, or fantasy, because you're dealing with a lot of organic matter with that. When you start doing sci-fi and modern civilization, then you got to really be precise on everything you do with the rulers and the layouts and all that stuff. That takes forever. It gets kind of boring too, to be honest, for me. Um, but I like to do it though. Every now and then, I like to switch it up. I like to go into sci-fi because too much of anything can be bad, you know. Like I'm sure, like even if I was just doing a sword and sorcery stuff, I'm gonna probably want to venture off and do like a modern thing, because I got a big like list of stuff I want to do, but I like sword and sorcery the most. That'd be like where I would spend most of my time, but I would probably have little breaks when I'm working on some other things. Yeah, because I got like some stuff, some ideas for like a little bit of sci-fi, a little bit of like occult detective, you know. um, yeah, so that might be kind of cool to work on someday. Yeah, inks. That's one cool thing about ink too. You know, you can just keep adding stuff, and then you could get the white paint. You could paint over it. You know, kind of how Homeboy Bert does. You know what I mean? Where he uses a bunch of multimedia. I like that. What I like about his work is it looks like it came out of the Stone Age. It's very rocky and stony, and dirty. You know, it looks like Stone Age. Yeah, man, consistently having ideas for other comics, signs of healthy imagination. Yeah, you know, and like Robert E. Howard, you know, he had written all this stuff, you know, as a writer. Like maybe Conan was his favorite world, but he had like other stuff he was working on, you know. Like I have some sword and sorcery stuff that I want to do, but the thing is, if you work on the same thing too much, um, you might get burned out, and then that work might suffer, you know. That's the only thing. It can be kind of sucky. So you want to take breaks from stuff. That way, your work is always inspired, I guess, if possible. So what do you want to aim for, maybe? Yeah. Daniel Warren Johnson is inspirational the way he goes and fearlessly with all the tools. Yeah, definitely, man. He's definitely another one that's one of my favorites. He's definitely inspired me a lot too. Just kind of getting in there, you know. That's what I do now. I don't give a fuck for the most part. Usually when I do that, the stuff comes out okay. Like I end up liking it, you know, rather than kind of being worried. You just got to rip the Band-Aid off and jump in there. But I mean, you got to kind of know a little bit about what you're doing. Like for me with painting, I don't know. I know how to paint in Photoshop. I got a little bit better. I was kind of whack, and then when I started to quit, I got better at it, and then I just didn't want to do it anymore. It wasn't really my thing. But actual painting, I might be down to do that, but we'll see. You got to have the patience for that shit. Yeah, man. Yeah, Daniel Warren Johnson. I love his Murder Falcon book. It's dope. I want to get his Beta Ray Bill, man. Beta Ray Bill. That looks awesome. Yeah. Well, shoot, guys. Thanks for watching. Probably gonna call it right now and probably go watch that movie, A Working Man. Finish watching that. Maybe a little Alien Earth if it's not too late. And try to do another one of these before the weekend, hopefully, or maybe right around the weekend sometime if I can. Really appreciate it. If you guys can, go check out some Howard. Go read some Howard if you can, some comics, or Samrian September. As always, thanks for watching. Really appreciate it. Thanks for everybody that stopped by and hit like and subbed and said what's up. Appreciate you. And always remember to be bold, be brave, before you roll the bones to know your role. And if the artist isn't hungry, then the artist isn't starving. And there's nothing wrong with a starving artist. I'll see you guys, and until next time, peace.